What is the first thing that you did to this song? Like, what was the first element you brought in?
Well, I got the session here. Let me actually pull it up. I remember like early on, we were like, we want it to be cinematic and synth heavy. So I went to like some synth libraries. And this first one, this is actually really cool. Tell me if you can hear this on your end, but the beginning pad. It's just like, it's really like somber and majestic and emotional, you know what I mean? And we did some stuff to it, you know, like to make it feel a little warmer and, you know, subtle or whatever. But I think we just went through the synth patches and we found a bunch of pads. I mean, there's a lot of layers in this song. You know, there's so many layers that like you don't necessarily hear when you listen to the whole song, but each one fills a space and contributes to the overall massive sound. And that's like my thing. Like that's what I love doing more than anything. It's like layers, 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 and placing them appropriately. So it's not just like, it's not like haphazardly just throwing things in that don't make sense and you don't have direction. You know, it's like there's a hole here, there's a hole here. This gives it the girth and the, you know, the low end and the high sizzle and like the twinkle. All that stuff is super important to fill all those things, you know what I mean? But still leave room for the vocal and the message, you know?
What would be like one thing in the production that is in there, but maybe we wouldn't even notice? Or because all the, like you said, the layers of stuff.
This probably like the synth bass, like it's our arpeggiating synth bass. Like that's in the song, that's in the last, that's in the choruses, the second and third chorus. But you know, it's mixed with these other like cool basses that are so it like gives it, yeah, it like gives it some motion, you know what I mean? But there's some cool stuff in here. Let me just solo a few things to you know, remind you of some of this stuff. Like I forgot about a lot of this. It's so cool. I didn't remember putting that in there, but that's cool.
I love that.
This is a weird thing. It's just like some high sizzly air.
Where is that?
That's in the chorus. Like halfway through the bridge, this comes in, it's filtered down. And then the last chorus, it unfilters, so it's really high and bright. This big thing.
So
cool. So this one's more, it really is more synth heavy than like strings and orchestra, but there are some like interstellar kind of.
Love it.
But if that was all it was, like it would be very interstellar. But then well, there's one more cool thing I want to show you. There's this like vocoder weird glitchy vocal thing that's in the starts in verse 2, but so it's just like cool moving arpeggiated sounds.
Oh my
And
days.
then the bass, and then all the drums. There's a lot of drums layered. Wow, there's a lot of stuff. Like listen to all these. Oh, and the trailer. I always put movie trailer effects in my productions. Like it doesn't matter if it's hip hop or pop or worship or whatever. Like to get like the really big whooshes and crashes and bangs and booms and all this stuff, like you have to just, I mean, I have millions of these like sound effects for movie trailers because that's like, you know, my favorite thing to make. But it works. They work in everything, and that's how you get the big epic like arrival. Because if you were to go, like I joke about this, but like if you were to go and get like a pop sound pack, and they have like some like, they'll call it a boom or an impact or something, it sounds like, you know, like a kitten bumped into the shades on the window, and it's like went like they're so weak and small, you know. It's like no, we want this right here, like I don't know if you can hear that over there. I have all this reverse stuff. Listen to this. Like those are just like epic sound effects, you know what I mean?
Give me some of that. It's a big old wallet.
Yeah, and then here's the drums. So the one thing that I always try to do, that's like the little secret to make it feel massive at the very end, because that's what I always feel like. I love when songs have like this payoff at the end where it's like you think the song is as big as it could get, and then it just goes up one more, like levels up, right? So I just put in overhead crashes, like a drum kit, like, and it's just going. And that actually adds a lot because, I mean, the drums sound big anyways, but this is like without.
Wow.
And here's with it. It just sounds, it feels more like rock and big and epic, you know what I mean, across the board. So
that is wicked.
That's just a little trick to like make it feel really big. And then I have like a bunch of loops layered in that just give it a bunch of emotion, like. So some of these elements, like you hear and you're like, that wouldn't work in this song. But like when you tuck it in and do it right, you know, mix it and put effects on it, and when it's all together, like sometimes these layers, they sound big and really cool, and each one's giving like, there's a lot of movement, right? The drums are going and the synths are, you know, that vocoder thing, and like all the rhythmic stuff, I feel like gives this song a lot of energy and momentum.